Hi guys, welcome back to the Gabriel Farmstead. My name is Rebecca. This is Ma'am. What's your name? So guys, we are recording the October tour today. We didn't bring you the September tour because I traveled with work, like I already said, and you want me to put it here? Okay. I, don't touch it. I traveled with work and it was just way too busy. I actually thought I'm gonna do it, but I didn't end up doing it. But anyways, so we're starting here today in the flower bed. It's a bit late. It's in the evening, around 6:30ish in the evening. So the sun is gonna set soon, and I want to do this quickly. Also, we don't really have a lot to show in the garden. It have gotten has gotten way. Hey, it has gotten way hotter. So these are some of the zinnias, multicolored, oranges, some red, some what, and guys, some marigold, and all these were volunteers. Apart from these tomatoes, in here were some tomatoes that I planted. I think they are big tomatoes. They are not getting that big. I think it's the stress of the sun. It's so hot, guys. You can see here that a lot of the flowers that were here have actually fallen off without being fertilized, and that's because it's just way too hot. When it gets this hot, the sun actually sterilizes the flowers, and nothing amounts or comes of it. So you can see, I think this one is dying. I don't know whether it's old or why is it dying. But anyways, we have another one that is growing. So we are going to pull this one out and then we are going to make space for the small one. So this two have grown together, but I have read somewhere that they are not good companion plants. But anyways, we will see what will happen. I didn't quite read up on it on why they are not good companion plants, but I'm thinking maybe it's because they share the same pests, possibly. So we are gonna be on the lookout for it. Anyways, there are good amount of marigolds in this bed. They repel pests, so that's good. You can see this guy is also. Oh, okay. He's very rooted. This guy is also dead, so I think instead of pulling them out, I'm going to cut them at the base. There is a squash plant here that I planted. I meant to transplant it, but I didn't end up transplanting it anymore. More marigolds. I think in this bed, the zinnias have passed their prime, but the marigolds are still, they are just starting to bloom, so they're still in their prime. On this side, I think Mr. Gabriel is going to talk about this area himself.
I've got these potatoes from my friend Marlu, and this is the Tyson variety. Apparently, it yields a lot of potatoes. So let's hope it works. And he gave me some Yara fertilizer. It's non-organic, and you actually find them in bags. It looks like little white stones that you get. So he gave me some in a bag. We might show you right here. And I made my own little irrigation system. As you would might be asking, what irrigation system or what drip system? As you see, this broken basin here that has a leak. For fertilizing these plants, we give one cap. I give one cap to each potato, but I put it all the caps. As you see, these are 6 potatoes here, and I put 6 caps in a bucket of water. After putting it in the water, what I do is when it's fully dissolved, I put it in this broken basin and just put it somewhere here in the middle. Then the it just the water just drips and drips and nicely soaks into the soil. Cause if I just water it nicely, I think that's another question you would want to ask. The this bed is not really leveled nicely, so the water would be dripping all the way to the flowers. So we're also going to be using this method. I'm also going to be using this method for the watering. This this was rock hard soil at first most of the time, and now you see how soft it is, thanks to the idea that I had. See,
So that means the soil is well. Okay, guys. The bed next here is the onions and carrots bed. We have been eating from this bed. The carrots, we are enjoying them. We are harvesting them. We have given a lot of it to our friends and family. So almost everybody who comes, ooh, this is a ferry. Almost everyone who comes and visit ends up leaving our house with some produce because we feel like we cannot eat all the carrots ourselves. At some point, I think we have to harvest and do a carrot preservation video because I feel like they are getting past their prime. They've been in the soil for too long, and I'm just lazy to harvest them, honestly. That's why they are still here. Otherwise, they should have been harvested a long time ago. And we have some smaller ones. Those that were well spaced are a bit big, but those that are, you see, the ones that are not spaced out are very small, just for comparison purposes. But, anyways, yeah, we have to come through and harvest. Yeah, that's a nice one. Because it was alone. We have to come through and harvest all of them and preserve them. Um, we have more onions here that are being shaded and suffocated by the gooseberry. The gooseberry was dead and it came back so vigorously, and it's now shading out our. Oh, this is just skinny.
long but skinny.
Yeah. So it started shading out all our onions, but the biggest onion in the garden so far is this. I wish all of them were that size because that's a softball size and we are able to harvest it at this point. But now we cannot because they're still very small. And it has gotten so hot because of the heat. I have tried to make my own shade nets that are not 100% effective because this is a 40% shade. That means it provides 40% shade to the plants. But that is not good enough because our sun is very very strong, so it still gets terribly hot. And unfortunately also it's just I think this is 4 meters. Maybe I was supposed to buy 6 meters because like this it's also like this onions spend most of their time in the sun, and you can see their leaves are scorched no matter how much we water. It's just way 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 too hot this time of the year. It has also been very, very windy, such that I think there are termites in this bed also. We have been thinking that these branches are being broken off by the wind, but I'm starting to think there are termites in this plant because you can see. Oh, please come and show them closer. If you can see here, you can see that all these branches, okay, some of them maybe have snapped, but some of them just died off just like that, and I'm thinking it's termites. Anyways, this is Gabi's favorite thing in the garden right now. So every gooseberry that comes out of here, she's already in the line waiting for it. Come, let's go, Nana. This bed of tomatoes is not doing well. The tomato plants died off because of the sun, and then this one was alive, but I guess also because of the sun, it snapped and died. I was really hoping to save it, but I can see now it's not going to be saved. So now we have a few. This bed also have bed watering issue, and I don't know whether this is. damage. I don't know whether this is pest, but it looks like there's a pest that infiltrated the fruit. You are finished? Here you go. Thank you. Yeah, so there are just a few tomato plants in this bed. We are going to water them and hope that they will produce for us. You can see they are also having some fruits, very small ones, but you can see from the leaves and from the flowers, these are definitely big tomatoes. They are not cherry tomatoes. That is the bed where the beetroot was. We still have some beetroot that we are going to harvest out. We no longer water it honestly because I just don't see the need. And is um right here is our pumpkin arc or squash arc. Okay, let me trellis this one. It's it's okay. So I think it's getting nice. The plants are getting nice and big. We will start trellising them so that they can climb. This one is a bit stubborn. Doesn't want to climb, but I'm also trying to be careful because the last time I tried to force a plant, I ended up breaking it, and I don't like it. Um, this is another squash plant that untrellised itself in the wind. So this is also supposed to come in here. We are hoping that they just grow up and one day they will fill the ark. There are some of the leave me alone. There's a fly that is following me and it's so irritating. I don't know whether is the light good enough. Okay, so we have a squash here. I have been trying to hand pollinate the squashes. I pollinated this on my own. I pollinated this one. I don't think I did quite a good job with that because this looks like it's growing, but that looks like it's dying. I missed this one, so it didn't get to get pollinated. Yeah, so yeah, and then this one snapped in the wind also. So now we are hoping that these smaller branches that are coming through will then also start trellising. This plant is also doing very, very well. It's vigorous, more vigorous than all the other plants, I would say. So this is one of my best performing plants right now, apart from all the others. It doesn't really have a fruit that survived because it seems like, okay, I have tried to pollinate that one. Let's see whether it will survive. Every time I have tried, I don't know. They always ended up dying, you guys. But I have this one.
As big as my
This
hand.
this
I
is
think this is the size of a beefsteak tomato.
yeah, maybe. So there was another one here. It didn't get quite pollinated, so that is falling off. But there is one that I definitely know is pollinated. So this is, I think, my only big squash. You know, guys, it's very weird when you don't label things. Ne? I used to think this plant is a big squash. This and that were supposed to be the same. This and this one were supposed to be the same. And that and this was supposed to be the same. And I'm realizing I didn't get any of them right simply because I didn't label. Anyways, at this point, I'm just like, it's okay. They are all squash plants. So all I want is for them to trellis this place so that by December it's nice and filled. Anyways, you can see this rope broke. My husband and his brother were building a shade net, and this arc was way too short. I mean, too tall, and they ended up making it a bit shorter. Not that I agree much, but anyways, it ended up fitting in the shade net. That rope we have to put back because it gives structure, a little bit of structure to the shade net. And once we put it back, I'm hoping that this will come up just a bit taller because I don't like its height now, and I'm really questioning its stability. Here we are having a bed that is probably one of the worst performing beds in the garden right now. I cannot wait to just rip out all this um, all the spinach plants. At this point, I'm thinking I'm only going to do that next year, no longer this time. We're still eating off from the spinach. These were um, cabbages and cauliflower plants that got a worm. that ate the center, so I don't think anything will come off it. In here we have tomatoes that are starting to lean because of the fruits. This is one of my favorite. I think it's a tiger stripe or green zebra, ne? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we have to put a support system here because this one is leaning, this one is also leaning. So they're really starting to lean from the weight of the fruits. You can also see a lot of volunteer sunflowers in here that I'm definitely leaving. So for this bed, this is again supposed to be carrots and onions only. You can see the carrots are almost gone because we have harvested almost all of them. Um, those that are left are not so big. They are being suffocated by other plants. But here is a volunteer potato. There's a volunteer potato, volunteer potato, volunteer potato, volunteer potato. You know, guys, what I have realized is you will hardly ever have a bed that you grew potatoes and not have a volunteer plant. It's impossible. If you grow potatoes in there, just prepare to have a volunteer. This is a carrot that bolted and went to seed. So this is a carrot flower. If you've never seen a carrot flower, this is what it looks like. And it will then grow like this one used to look like that. So it will go from here to this, and then the seeds are going to be contained in here. I don't know whether I'll harvest this for seed or I'll just let it go and then we'll have volunteer um, carrots next year. The thing with plants that bolt is when your plant have bolted, it takes the energy of from the bulb into the flower to make seed because this is the ultimate aim of a plant is to make seeds and reproduce. So that means the bulb then becomes smaller and smaller as you can see from the bulb of that carrot. Can they see the bulb very well? You may go down a bit so that you can show. So you can see how very tiny this bulb is. It's now the same size as the stem, but it used to be a bit bigger than that. Maybe we can harvest this. Ooh, this is a good one. I think we are also going to harvest this one. It have a good root system. Oh, I came out with an onion. Sorry, I didn't see you. Let me stick you back in. I don't know whether anything will come off you, but anyways. So yeah, this bed I didn't thin this place. So those carrots are very, very small. But look at the comparison. Very good. There are also onions, and guys, because we planted the onions very late, my onions this year I think are going to be a flop. Maybe because they are not longer in the sun, something will come off them, but it has gotten just way, way, way too hot. So I am doubting.
This is my garden bed. It has successfully grown nicely, and I'm saying that um the onions are already bulbing. I'm having high hopes for that. For the garlic, I don't think they'll really do anything because these things used to be so huge in winter, but now it's just the size of beetroots or those small carrots. And as you see, I transplanted a marigold for the pest to repel pests that go here. And whenever I smell it, whew, it smells really bad. So
Smells really bad.
yeah, quite bad.
Oh.
So I'm really happy about that. And this is my and these are all other onions of mine.
Like you don't want.
Okay, these are other onions of mine. As you see, they're not bulbing, so I don't think they'll produce anything. And here, We have my carrots. My mom just told me that we harvested some of my carrots to give to my uncle. I'm really happy about that. So we got a harvest out of this bed. Yay! Now we have our beetroots. Yeah, it's bulbing. They love heat, so I think they'll be okay. And we have onions again. So, okay, the garden plan. Why you are seeing so many onions? We do onions, another plant, onions, and few other plants, onions, a few other plants. So it's like, and then at the end, garlic, so it can repel all the pests. And
Also because we eat a lot of onions.
yep, we eat loads of onions. So as you see, there are two cauliflower plants here, but I don't think they'll do much. I don't think they'll do anything at all. They look really weird. Um, and I didn't think they would look like this actually. But I'm really happy that they started to grow after they died out. And we have this marvelous gooseberry. Yo, this thing is large. I think if I think if I plucked out all these leaves and put them in one line, that thing could measure my height.
Guys, these are my garlics. I planted this garlic somewhere at the beginning of the year, so they have been in the soil for quite long. But guys, you know what I found out? This garlic, compared to the garlics that I planted way later, you can see the stalks. These are so huge, and I'm having a high hopes for these specific ones. I see this one is starting to get a garlic scape. So can they see it? So I'm just gonna plug it out before we get any further because I'd rather have big bulbs. But then a garlic scape means that this is a hard neck garlic because they are the ones that produces scapes. Um, I'm very new to garlic still. Oh, it smells so good. It smells so garlicky. I'm quite new to garlic still, so sometimes I still struggle on when to harvest my garlics. But they say when the first three leaves have died, I don't know how many leaves are this. Let me see this one. I think so far I'm counting two. The third one I think being this, or is this the second one? So, but I'm just gonna give them maybe a little bit more time before I can decide to harvest them. This is my pepper bed, anyways. So this here is a paprika. This here is a mini bell pepper. We have a bean plant that I planted here. And you guys saw in the previous videos that I have cut down all my chili on pepper plants. We have a zinnia that volunteered. This one is the most prolific one, and I think this is also a paprika. So they are flowering well. There are some of those that are already getting um, that are already getting they are getting fruits like this pepper here. This is a California wonder. It's having a small fruit besides not having very mature branches. This here is a giant something. I forgot the name, the full name, but it's also coming back very well. Here we also have a very gigantic marigold, but it's suffocating my dahlia that it seems like the bulbs are still in the soil, so it's coming back. It actually died off, now it's coming back. This California wonder was one of my most prolific plants last year, but it's not doing so well this year. It's very taking very long to come back. I'm just hoping that I didn't kill it and it will come back. At this point, I don't want to do anything to stress it out because I really need it to come back. I need those green peppers. This bed still is onions. I don't know whether you guys can still see. We left a very small cabbage there. This is a cauliflower plant. Let me see. Let's see whether there's anything in this
Nope.
plant. Oh, still nothing. Okay, it's growing very well. Nothing. We harvested that one. There is a volunteer tomato that is threatening to suffocate my plants. So you guys can see that overall, in summary, guys, in summary, the gooseberries are probably the star of the show of this garden. There's one behind me doing very well. One in top is the bed doing very well. One in the other bed doing very, very well. The tomatoes are coming along, but it's very hot, so they are struggling in the sun. The pumpkins have also struggled so much in the sun. My aim for this garden, or my dream for this garden right now, is to have a greenhouse where I'm putting the shade nets, and that's a future project, so that I'm able to grow even during the hottest of months here in Namibia, Southern Africa. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah, so I guess that's a garden, the garden in a nutshell. We have planted way many trees, and one day I will definitely come through and give you the tour of my fruit trees that I have planted. But it has gotten quite late. I don't know whether you can even see me. Thank you so much for hanging with me. We will see you in the next one.